Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So Talk MMA is a Twitter account that has been very reliable in the past for breaking news in the MMA world. Right now they are claiming that Brock Lesnar is attempting to go back to the UFC to fight in November, and he will be dropping the Universal title to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I just had a second person tell me that Brock is back in the USADA testing pool. Rumor around WWE is Brock dropping the belt at SS. Paul Heyman and Brock were at the UFC HQ during IWF. Had a meeting with the UFC brass. Brock's return is imminent, most likely MSG on November 4th. He's said to be giving up the title to Roman at #SummerSlam. Brock still hasn't yet to be tested in 2017 by USADA. You would think that rules out November, but he can possibly get another exemption. Now last year when Brock Lesnar fought Mark Hunt at UFC 200, he was suspended for 1 year after failing a drug test. When he supposedly retired back in February of this year, that froze his suspension since he wasn't able to be tested under USADA with being retired. Now if Brock Lesnar is back in the testing pool with USADA, say he just got back in July, that adds 3 or 4 months to the suspension. November may not be enough time, so if he can get that exemption, then he can fight on November 4th. But the other thing with all of this is WWE going to agree to it. WWE, who Brock Lesnar is under contract with until next year's WrestleMania, would have to sign off on this fight. Now you ask, why would they? One of the big things that happened last year when WWE signed off was that UFC actually played 1 or 2 ads for SummerSlam during their UFC 200 pay-per-view. It's kind of like one of the things they gave to the WWE in return for getting Brock Lesnar. Now, WWE also wanted Paige Van Zandt to come to SummerSlam last year as kind of a give and take thing from the UFC as well, but she denied, saying that she was too involved in her training camp. Right now, WWE is actually looking to possibly do something with Chris Cyborg and Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, so they can say, hey, you give us Cyborg for SummerSlam, you can have Brock for November 4th. Another thing that makes this very interesting is that about a month ago, I did hear that after SummerSlam, Brock was supposed to work a good amount of dates for the WWE. But as of this week, Brock is only scheduled for 5 or so dates past SummerSlam. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with this UFC thing, but man, that does make things look a little more interesting. In my opinion, I think, hey, stick around WWE. You don't need to go back to UFC. You've already retired twice. Why go back? I know Brock loves fighting. Brock loves the realism, the realness of the fighting, punching people, choking people out. But you're what, 40 years old? I know there's guys that do it way longer than that, but Brock, you've got a cush deal in the WWE, so just stick with that. I want to know your guys' opinion now. Let me know in the comments below if you think Brock Lesnar should go back to the UFC, should have one more fight in Madison Square Garden of all places, and who do you think out of that heavyweight division he should fight? But that's going to do it for this edition of Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember to comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe here on YouTube.